Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early December 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, what do we got for the Bulls? What do we have for the Taurus collective in early December, Sagittarius season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus. Please and thank you. What's happening? What's the vibe? What's swirling around the collective here? Guides and Spirit Team, what do we got? There we go. Thank you. Nice and quick. Beautiful. All right, yeah, this is a very affectionate type of energy. Maybe some of you need a big old bear hug. I always say that with this card. I'm going to give you a big internet bear hug there, Taurus, because that card to me is just very lovey-dovey, which is really cool. It's spiritual. It has a lot of different notes to it, so there's some complexity with this card. I just don't see it too often. But before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little more in depth about this card. As you can see, the imagery on it is absolutely beautiful. We have this woman here. She has that red headdress on. She kind of looks like a high priestess. She is snuggling up to this dove, this white bird. Now, in symbolism and divination, white birds represent the love and light types of energies. We're thinking angelic energies, guides, ancestors, our spirit team. So there's a very strong bond between the two. For some Tauruses, in this time, you might be extra sensitive to the spiritual side or spiritual energy. So if you're the type of person where you're already born with that type of ability, it could be heightened. If you're a scientific-minded individual, you might be feeling different energies that are a little difficult to explain when we see this type of vibe. It could just be straight up spiritual protection. There might be something that spirit is like insulating you from or protecting you from, which is a really good thing. But as I mentioned earlier in the reading, this to me is just super lovey-dovey and affectionate. So whether it's like someone you're connected to, they might need a little affection. Maybe you do, right? A few hugs here and there, maybe kisses on the cheek. You know, we're not going to get too far with that. But yeah, to me, it just feels very affectionate. So some of you might just need a little affection. I already gave you your big internet bear hug. So we're going to leave her over there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up here. What do we got for Taurus? My guides. And yeah, while we get this shuffled and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Very tense reading for you last week. There was a lot of swords. There was a lot of mental energy going on. So I really hope for the most part, all the Tauruses out there haven't been too stressed out, because the vibe I was picking up last week, it just felt really, really high strung. Now, it didn't mean it had to be your energy. I know Taurus energy is usually very chill. It could have been someone you're connected to that was like really stressed, anxious, or just really wound tight. But we're going to hope that energy loosens up. We're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Taurus in early December. What's going on? Thank you. Judgment. Powerful. Powerful explosive energy for us to start off with. Wow. Okay. Now, I always say I prefer an action card in the beginning of a spread. And I mean, you can't ask for much more action than this. We are starting with a boom when we have judgment in position number 1. That's for sure. Let's get a couple more. Thank you. All right. Complete opposite. Notice that they're both archangels and spiritual. So it's like there is spiritual energy all over your reading. From the very first card here, remember I was saying angels, love and light, double angels showing up here. So much energy around you from the spirit side. It could be other things. Those energies are complete extremes, like full stop, full go. Okay. All right. So we're going to have to talk about this, especially with the Page of Wands that needs to talk about something. And then we also have the 10 of Wands showing up here on the back end. Also the element. We'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, there's a lot of fire happening here. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, this might be a tale of multiple very powerful energies showing up for you. Because looking down here, obviously, I already commented on it. We have two strong archangel angelic figures, totally different vibes, where this one is explosive, go, 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 go. This one is like, I'm not going nowhere. So hopefully it's not like a blockage of some sort for some of you. I feel like it's the scales, like the Libra scales that are weighing. It's like we have really good and really chill type of energy, then we have really tense, strong energy. We have this page, all the fire here, because the Temperance card is Sagittarius energy, so it's like we have all fire on the back end. So it's going to be intriguing to try to connect all these dots, because I feel like there's a lot of energies and there's going to be layers. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we are starting here with Judgment. Saw this, I think, for Capricorn. This is a common energy this week. Now, Judgment is a karmic card. It can speak about karmic situations, somebody catching a dose of karma, the karmic cycles of life and changes. This card is connected to Pluto, so anything connected to Pluto, which is Scorpio energy, speaks of transformation, change, deep, not surface level. We're talking deep, big cycle shifts here. So yeah, we could be seeing big karmic energy. Now, Judgment could be making literal judgments, decisions, choices of in which action you're going to take. But this is not slow by any means. It's explosive, it's fast, it's in your face, it's intense. Okay, and that's the complete opposite of what we have coming up. Now, sometimes Judgment does represent things returning. That sometimes is the thing when I see this card. So whether it's a situation or even an individual, Judgment can sometimes be something that like flares back up. Moving to the center, we have Temperance. Complete and total vibe switch. So it's like we're going from full go to full chill. We have Archangel Michael here. So we have Gabriel, Messenger, Michael, the protector. That very first card we saw in the beginning, I'm telling you, Taurus, even if you're not the most spiritual person, you have like tons of protective angelic energy around you in this time, which I think is a good thing. So maybe Spirit is protecting you from something, because when Archangel Michael shows up, it's the same thing as that first card. Now, this is a card of patience, letting something unfold, taking your time, taking a breath. So I do like to see this after that wound tight reading that we saw last week. This is a nice card. But what are some of the challenges of Temperance? It could sometimes represent delays. It could represent problems. It could represent issues or situations that are getting in the way. So it's like we have Judgment, which was full go, and then it's like boom into Temperance. It's like, all right, where the hell did this come from? So hopefully there's nothing that's frustrating you in this time. We'll have to look at this further. And remember, I'm not saying it's all positive or all negative just yet. I'm just telling you a little bit of both from what I'm seeing. Now, on to the back end. We have the Page of Wands, fire sign energy. All pages are students, so they're learning new things. It represents new cycles, new things, new beginnings, but they're also communicators, especially this Page of Wands. It's like a blabbermouth. It's yapping. It's talking, talk, 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 talk. So I'm not sure if these are conversations you're having. I'm not sure if they're conversations someone else is trying to have with you. To me, it's just like a lot of talking, and it's interesting that there's like strong periods and slow periods, but yeah, the page is very fiery like the rest of this energy. So again, it could be conversations that pop up out of nowhere, surprising ones, unexpected ones, explosive ones, you name it. The good thing about this page is that it gets its point across. The challenge with this page is that sometimes it could burn itself out. It could run out of energy. This Page of Wands could sometimes be a little volatile and unpredictable. So again, that's why I'm saying I'm already getting the vibe of some like unexpected or surprising communications. We'll see. Now, on the very back end, we do have the 10 Wands. It's very important that you take care of yourself in this time, specifically your physical vessel. I always say the 10 Wands can be burdened, so please take care of your mind, body, and soul when this is here. Now, if we're talking about the physical body, watch areas like the neck, back, and spine, because this is someone carrying a lot of weight. Now, generally, Tauruses like to keep themselves busy. So this is an energy that you are built to work through. But at the same time, you don't want to tap yourself out, because this energy has a ton of determination. It's going to do what it says, and it says what it does. There's no quit in the 10 of Wands, but at the same time, it's heavy. So maybe some of you do need like a little vacay or a little break, a little you time. Okay, a little self-love. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here. What's going on for Taurus, please? What is happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Judgment. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, judgment time. What's happening? Why is judgment here? My good friends, thank you. Yeah, it's a little out of hand, huh? It's a little wild. So for some of you, this could even be like your own impulses. That's something to really keep an eye on. Now, usually Tauruses are nice, grounded earth sign. They're not the most wild, but when I see judgment with the Ace of Wands in reverse, it's like going haywire a little bit. So just know in this time you might be having certain urges that are a little difficult to control. Watch out for temper and stuff. Like you might be getting a little angry. I just feel like a little impulse control is what I'm wanting or needing here in the front end. And we might get it with Temperance up next. The Ace of Wands is another card that is fiery, filled with vitality. It does speak about communication. So interesting that we have all this energy around talking and messages. So we're going to have to see how it all plays out when we finish up. But yeah, when I see judgment with this Ace of Wands in reverse, again, that could be a surprising or unexpected conversation coming in or talk. But at the same time, I have this very strong energy around watching the impulses. Okay, so you might get certain cravings or certain impulses to do certain things that might not be the best in this time. Listen, no judgment here. You do what makes you happy. You do what you want. But yeah, when I see judgment, Ace of Wands in reverse, it's like someone needs a little impulse control. I'm not saying it too. It could be someone you're connected to where they need to control themselves a little bit because this energy is a little wild. Okay, so let's just keep moving. Let's see what's up. I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. Let's not overcomplicate it. And again, for some of you, if that doesn't hit, just watch for the energy fluctuations, right? There might be some days where you're feeling like really, really high, and then days where you might be a little low. But let's go in on Temperance. Let's see what Temperance has. What's Temperance here? Someone does need to take a small step back from something. We have the King of Cups in reverse underneath Temperance. This is that impulse control. For some of you, there could be a person or something that is very good at keeping you calm, or you might act as that for somebody else. When I see the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself without a beard holding a goblet in reverse, that can speak about the emotional warnings, the emotional ups and downs. So again, I feel like there's a twofold warning here, but nothing treacherous. With the impulse control here, that could be an explosive energy warning where it's like, listen, energies could go from 0 to 100 real quick. But with the Temperance and King of Cups in reverse, there needs to be some sort of soothing for a portion of you. If things are feeling too intense, make some time for you and make sure you're taking care of yourself, because this could be an emotional warning. So it's like we have both. We have like this fiery, red hot type of energy, then we have this deep emotional energy, and it feels like it's spiking. That's the one thing I've been getting ever since these two came out together. It's like these energies are spiking. It's like some are real low, some are real high. So for a portion of you, there could also be something that you need to just slow down with as well. Like, I don't want to say take a full step back, but there could be a certain behavior, person, hobby, who knows, that you might just need to take a minute. That's just a big vibe here, because there's a big energy around recovery here as well. So the reading for you this week, Taurus, is very much layered. Okay, now a portion of you might just be connected to a water sign, but the King of Cups represents emotional control, right? He's the controller of the cup suit, emotional control, mental control. So when he shows up in reverse, it's something that's a little haywire. So I feel like it's a little bit of both, either an explosive warning that things could go wild or an emotional one. Okay, so we're going to go over to that page and see what the page has to say. Do I think everything is going to be okay? Absolutely, because there's so much spiritual assistance happening, so much protection. I just feel like the energy is very up and down. So let's see what the page has, and we'll do our recap. Very much up and down. So why is the page here? Okay, good. All right. Some of you might need to just get something off your chest. Sometimes if we're going through a difficult time, just having somebody to talk to could be very important. Just having somebody that we can converse with and get something off our chest. So for some of you, that could be super important, okay? Whether it's a friend, family member, partner, just having somebody to share thoughts with, concerns with, I feel like that could really do a lot of you well. Or you might be acting as that for somebody else, where it's like a sounding board, where it's like, all right, well, what's bothering you? What you got? It's like giving me that kind of energy. The Three of Swords in reverse is a good energy, but another thing I'm picking up, the fire-air combination, what we have here in the front, I feel for a lot of Tauruses, either you're going to be a problem solver, or people are going to be coming to you to help them solve their stuff. Maybe you need an outside perspective with something. But with all this fiery energy, I think a lot of you are going to have some surprising or unexpected talks, conversations that you don't quite see coming. So I know that doesn't quite fit the full theme of what we have going on, but I think that's a big possibility in what I feel in the energy is a lot of surprising or unexpected talks here. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Yeah, up and down, but I feel like everything's going to be okay. There's a lot of spiritual support here. But if you look in the box, position number 1, we have Judgment with the Ace of Wands in reverse. Like I said, it feels very volatile. Watch out for impulse control because you might be a little more spontaneous than you normally are when this energy does start to show up. Either that or someone you're connected to, they need to watch their impulses when this card is here. It does have that surprising talk thing, just like we had here on the back end. So that is an underlying theme. Watch your physical health. In the center, we have Temperance with the King of Cups in reverse. So it's like we have an explosive warning, we have an emotional warning. But none of them are crazy extreme. I feel like these are energies that will work their way through. It just feels like the energies are up and down, up and down, up and down. So just know there could be some high days, there could be some low days coming up, such as life though, right? On to the back end, we have the Page of Wands with the Three of Swords in reverse. I do feel for a lot of you, some of you might just need someone to talk to, or maybe someone just needs you to talk to them, like where, you know, you could be going through things, but just having someone there to be a sounding board for you is really enough to make you feel better. Or you're going to be a big problem solver in the near future where people are going to be coming to you with their issues for your perspective. That's very possible here. And again, with the surprising talks all over the place. So please take a screenshot if you want to look at it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. I mean, that's way different than what I usually get for you. Usually your energies come out pretty straightforward. What you see is what you get. I feel like I can keep reading that spread for like another 10 minutes. But let's see what's going on. What do we have for Taurus, please? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going here. What do we have for Taurus, please? Thank you. Okay, Death card, don't be nervous about this. Big Scorpio energy, and that is your zodiacal opposite. So this is an energy that Taurus usually works well with because it's Scorpio vibes. Now, Death is all about change and transformation. I do feel for a lot of Scorpios, especially with the ups and downs and all the spiritual energy showing up, a good chunk of you could be going through a major period of metamorphosis and transformation when this card is in the mix. It's not a bad thing. The Death card, yeah, sometimes it does represent ending. Sometimes it does represent the close of a cycle, but I always link this to Phoenix rising energy, where it's like, okay, I mean, from the ashes, something new will come. So it's not like a complete and total ending. It's just more of a transformation that I'm picking up here in the shadows. I will mention this, a little intuitive message I'm picking up, and I said it very early on in the beginning. I feel for a lot of Tauruses, you are going to have a very much heightened proclivity to spiritual energy. We had this in the beginning, you know, with that angelic energy. We have double angelic energy here, and the Death card does speak about the realm of where people have passed on to as well. So I feel like for a lot of you, there's just angelic, ancestral type of energy that's trying to communicate with you. So maybe watching over you, that's a beautiful thing. But you know what, Taurus, we're just gonna leave it at that. Let's get these cards out of there. Interesting reading for you this week, my friends, but that's what I have for you. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what do you want Santa Claus to bring you this year for Christmas? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.